with the first one, like he said, Steve Cowens, we caught them on the hop. There weren't enough of them, and we kind of blazed them really from the train station down to the high street, and we done them fair and square.
The 30s went to Lincoln, big kid out. This days, we got smashed all over. How we got smashed, I tell you now, I tied him some bushes and that. But run all over the place. We actually got him in league in a month's time, and we went back, this time 100ers, firmed up. We were banged at it all day. It was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Never stopped from getting off train. So I wrote about it in my book, about Lincoln, and I put him in my top 10.
As you know, I interviewed Steve Cowens, Sheffield United. Fine chap. Really enjoyed speaking to him. Really knowledgeable, as obviously been there, seen there, done it. There's a certain incident that came up within that interview that you would like to go more in depth to, Martyn. So I'm going to give you the chance to do it, mate.
Well, do you know what? Right, I mean, I read his book years ago, right, and I liked it. I've read a few books, you know, Martin King's books, like from the very start. They were great books. What an author, brilliant author, great books.
R.I.P. by the way, Martyn.
Yeah, brilliant. What a fucking. Let's say same R.I.P. to like One Eye Baz and all while we're at it.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
definitely.
Another
Good
legend.
shout.
Like.
Yeah,
exactly. Cowens, Steve. I was watching. I watched his interview. He didn't go into any depth, like. Now the thing is, he says, right, that it was a month apart. Now my mate, I'll call him Dave of the Links. He says, we played him on a Wednesday, and we played him on a Saturday. Now I had to ring my mate up earlier. I call him Blackie, Gazzy, another Lincoln legend, like. You know, he got nicked at the first one, which was a Wednesday at the train station. And then, so anyway, this is how, with the first one, like he said, Steve Cowens, we caught them on the hop. There weren't enough of them, and we kind of blazed them really from the train station down to the high street, and we done them fair and square. Anyway, like he says, and he says it in his book, we thought, fuck it, we're not having that. We're getting revenge. Now, whether it was 4 days apart, a week or a month, I don't know, because I had the fixtures up the other day, and I was looking at the fixtures, and at no point could I see the fixtures where it's 4 days apart, or a month apart. So I can't clarify, yeah. So I would just cut to the chase. I mean, the day's the day, and it was a Saturday, and a lot of us were in a pub, it's not around anymore obviously, called the Red Lion. And a mate of mine, John Taylor, his nickname Snapper, he's another lad that's dead, like a Lincoln lad. He wasn't a football lad as such, but he did used to get stuck in. He was an ex-gaff lad, you know, like a fair lad. He used to spin the waltzes and that lot. He had a tattoo on his hand, gaff lad. Anyway, decent lad, and I'm sure he walked in there. I'm sure it was there. It might have been a little bit further down the high street. He goes, they're here. I said, oh, where? Or someone said, oh, where? He said, oh, down the Chaplain Arms. Now, the Chaplain Arms was near the football ground, and it was a small little pub, a bit like a TARDIS. I mean, we used to do after parties there after the raves at the drill hall. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I can't be many in there if it's the Chaplains, you know. They will walk down there, and I don't know, you know, in his book, I mean, he did say in the end there was 400 lads at it. You know, I don't know how many they had really. There might have been 200. I'm going to say they had probably 150. There was about 80 of us that walked down there. It's quite a decent mob. And we've walked down there, and before the school was built and these bungalows, there was like some allotments and an alleyway. So we went down this alleyway, and then you go down this little road, and then see these 2 or 3 lads outside having a beer. And as soon as they saw us walking up, they shouted, they're here, to his mates. And I thought, you know, fucking loads of them, like swarms of them. I thought, where they all come from? Because it's only a small pub with a little garden, and there was fucking hordes of them. But the thing is, there was no hesitation. It was just they ran across Cannock Road and straight into us. Now, there was a little picket fence. I mean, there was a gap there, but we was having it at the fence. I mean, you could have got round it, only a few feet away, but you're having it at the fence. And the mate, I call him Ramon, Tasty, I remember at the front, you know, proper giving it some, but they were determined, Sheffield United, and they was en masse kind of thing. And we were young then, and if it was 82, I'd be 17. And my mate I call him the Rat. Brilliant lad, game as fuck, loyal as fuck. He was with me, and if I was 17, that makes him about 13, 14, something like that. So I might have been 18, I might have been 15. So I can see why our arses went. But they kind of did, and they backed us off, and they ran us. And we was fucking running for our lives, like. And I remember jumping up this fence, and I remember him jumping up me, pulling me down to get over me, to get on these allotments, to get away. I'm like, fuck off. You know, when you're kind of running but laughing at the same time, like,
yeah.
It's very funny but not funny. You can get fucking pagged here, like, but we're over these fences, running across these carrots and cabbages, scrambling away to the ground. When we got to the ground, there was like a football training area or a car park before play zone was built there, and the old bridge was still there. And then there was another mob of Lincoln, like the same amount, like another 80 lads, because they're here. So we're doubled up, like, and then that's it, straight into each other. And even Steve Cowens said like 400 lads at it. It was more like 300 lads at it. But trust me, it was fucking mayhem. It was toe to toe, and it was like a proper battle. And there was 2 coppers there shouting, "Lads, stop, stop!" It was fucking never going to happen. It was just
Who's going to live?
Yeah, these 2 old men, like, as if we're just going to all stop and go our separate ways. It was never going to happen. And we were young. The lads I was with, we were young, but we were still having it because you couldn't run then. We had one puncher I mentioned last time. He was with us, and all the old lads. We had some big hitters with us, and it was toe to toe for a long time before an old-fashioned couple of handfuls come through, and no one wants to get nicked, and then that was it.
Oh,
so
cool.
it was almost Bob on in his book and things like that. I mean, probably 100 out. I don't think there was 400 there, but don't quote me on that. It was a long fucking time ago. But it was madness.
You can only tell your story and your version. What happened to you.
Yeah, so if I get anything wrong, like dates and numbers, and I don't want to apologise, like, but if I get any kind of, well, it's not a fact, is it? If I've got it wrong, numbers, days, dates, I might have got it wrong. I'll try not to exaggerate, and I'll always try and tell it either as it was or as best I remember it.
And I think, to be fair to you, Martyn, a lot of comments on your last interview did say that this guy's told the truth. You've not gone and said Lincoln Transit Elite went round and bashed everybody up.
No, we didn't. It's like when I go on about home games, I mean, Sheffield United had the better of us in the end. It was toe to toe, but I'm not going to say, they had the better of us. It was their day, really. They came for revenge, and they got the revenge, really, for however long it was before.
Interviewed a guy called ymo from Lincoln Transit Elite, and it's the best views that I've had on my channel, because, like you said, everybody's heard about the West Hams, the Millwalls, the Arsenals. They want to hear about the lower league. Like you said, there are certain people that are everywhere.
But I don't know him personally, but Lincoln United, in my book in BBC, I've got a right shout up because we played him in, I think it's some cup that he used to have. I can't remember what it was, but the 30s went to Lincoln, big kid out. These days, we got smashed all over. How we got smashed, I tell you now, I tied him some butchers and that, but run all over the place. So we actually got him in league in a month's time, and we went back, this time 100 of us, firmed up. We were banged at it all day. It was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Never stopped from getting off train. So I wrote about it in my book, about Lincoln, and I put him in my top 10. Fast forward 15 years, me and my missus gone to Lincoln for a nice romantic thing, yeah. We've gone in this bar, nice bar, we walked past in all these tables, leather chairs, candles and all that. So, wait, let's go in here for a drink. Fucking walks in, 10 geezers all sat over here on her floor. And they fucking piped me. That's fucking trap. My missus anyway, gets a drink. They're all fucking looking over, and I just couldn't help gazing off. I'm thinking, surely not going to be fucking missus yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought, fuck. Yeah. My missus started getting a bit uneasy, She's come on, we'll go snare, fuck it, right, I'm going to get a drink. I went to the bar, just sort of let them know weren't bothered. Anyway, one of them gets up, walks over, says, "You Steve Cowens?" So I went, yeah, man. He went, "Can I buy a drink?" We've just been saying it with you. I went, "All right." I said, "No, I don't want to drink a few pal." He says, "No," he says, "Fucking hell, what you wrote in the book about Lincoln." He says, "We're all Lincoln lads." And I says, "Fucking, I'll see your eyeball." And I thought, fucking, that's why I've got another drink.
But they wanted to pay respect.
Yeah, that's what it were. Anyway, fucking, I says, "Can we come on?"
And do you know what?
My missus weren't right.
Yeah.
My missus weren't right first because they were coming and sitting with us for half an hour. And I said, "Listen, lads, I'm going to have to fuck off. I'm here for romantic weekend." But we're fucking good as gold, and all they were saying is, "No fuckers wrote down what you..." And I says, "What? You can only write down what I've seen and what I think." I says, "You were game as fuck." You know what I mean? Although second time we did get up, but we got up having a big time. But that first one were a art culture shock. We all come out of the bus, somebody said, "They're here." We run out of the boulder. Fucking hell, there must be 80 of them. Well, as usual, glasses fell. At least next minute, we're fucking 30 yards down precinct, diving in bushes and all sorts. So I think you've got to give credit where it's credit's due.
Yeah, no, and I think that's very very honest of you, Steve. And I think you've said through this interview that the first away days you got knocked out. I think you said it was at Wigan and
yeah, it were, yeah.
And the Lincoln Transit Elite, like you said, respect where respect is due, and they give it back to you after you thought you might be in for a bit of a lively night with your missus. So
they're good, respectful lads.
Yeah, no, and I think that shows a lot about the football lads and the football community as a whole.
How it should be. That, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.